Good morning, everyone. Well, the economic news wasn't so market moving. Actually, nothing's going on here. I think I don't know, the trend is up, bar by bar. So far, we're forming a trading range here. Seems like this tariff news is creating some uncertainty again. In any event, the markets aren't going crazy over it. Just probably just waiting for the next news item. But the market internals reached or edged into an extreme back here on that little breakout you can see on the futures there. And so far, it's just been a sideways correction, consolidating, and we'll see how long it goes. If you can see, the futures yesterday did not poke up to a new all-time highs, but the Qs did. So futures traders continue to be a little more conservative. Um, Most times, historically, the futures would lead the way up as futures traders just like its trend is up, it keeps going up, keep buying it, pushing it a little higher, and the market would catch up or not. But just an observation of watching things happen over a long period of time and seeing the difference. It's not changing anything per se to act on it, but um, again, the trend is up. Market's bullish until proven otherwise. So we've got a pivot low here. We apply the same thing no matter what we're looking at, but uh, within the trend, we look at pivot lows, makes higher high, walk off the next one. That becomes major support. Trend is up until proven otherwise, of course. Bar by bar analysis. We had part of this discussion in the green room yesterday about individual bars and trends and what's happening and the close. But if this, and again, I know it's futures, it's not going to gap unless it's a weekend, but um, if stock gaps up or whatever you're looking at and it's a big red bar, you know, did it close deeply into the prior bar? We cover this in the bar by bar analysis. Where is it close? What's the bar? What's the trend? And so on. But until it closes underneath that, the trend is up. And so now as it begins to build a trading range, right, within the uptrend, you can see here on the 65-minute chart, you know, for those of us, which we are all active investors and traders, that becomes meaningful to us. Is this a bottom? We'll assume so for the moment, since the trend is up on the daily, but it's yet to break out. It just chops back and forth, you know, enthusiastic buying, wide range bar, big down, take the money, and it's tightening up, as you can see here on the 65-minute. Um, Weekly chart. Today's Thursday. So far, it's not going anywhere. Look at that little tiny range bar there. Um, Open and close about the same so far. So as prices go up, right? So this made a new high. It's in an uptrend. Get a narrow range bar. It's easier to violate a prior bar's low. It doesn't change the trend, but you know, I'm just thinking as I'm speaking here and looking at this, just based on what we do day in and day out, it becomes relatively easy to violate a prior day's low, which would violate this trading range, and we'd see what kind of corrective price action we get, and does it violate the trend? It's systematic. Looking at S&P, it's the same story. So here we were talking about, see my drawing here, we were talking about is this possible topping pattern, and maybe it still is. Who knows? Trading range, same story. Up, down, getting a little tighter here, at near resistance. And so we wait. A narrow range bar on the weekly. We'll move up, little pullback here towards support. See a buyer step up. Keeping things in perspective. Nothing of significance is happening here this week, and the new economic news is out. And is there anything? There's a bond auction today at 12 o'clock. keep that in mind. Sometimes these things are market movers. At 1 o'clock, there's an auction, and it could be a mover. And then there's a couple of Fed guys talking after that. So trading range, S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, Dow a little weaker, a little tiny breakout failure, minor support. It's in an uptrend. 65-minute. Looks more of it like a topping pattern. A little retest, hard down. It's in the lower part of the hard down, the big momentum move. So far, it's holding on the next shelf over there to the left. And can it get back up to the top of the range? If it can get through this part here, it's in the middle. We'll wait and see. And the Russell, where are you? Here we go. So similar trading range, but this has room to go. Right? We've been talking about this and the transports. These have room to go up to the next resistance level. And does it continue higher, break above this pivot high? Now, this is not major resistance. It's in an uptrend. So, however, the pullback was quite shallow. So when we see that, it's like, okay, will this potentially become an M top? Well, if it was preceded by a really strong momentum move, there'd be greater probability of that. So, but again, we'll see. Is it's retesting this high? Going to break up through it? Does it pull back? 65-minute chart, little retest there, going sideways at resistance. All right. Gold, trading range, right, middle of the range, and low. Not much happening there. Silver getting interesting again. Right? This played catch up, and so far, the day is early. Wide range bar into resistance. Yes, you did. So Robert's asking me, for those of you in the social media there, Robert's asking me to repeat what I said about not being major resistance. So part of this is common sense, right? It is resistance. But when we use the word major, it invokes something of significance. So, in the room yesterday, Robert was talking about this and weight of the evidence, right? I like this term, weight of the evidence, which means when I look at something, there are many different variables, so to speak, or concepts. And so a prior high is resistance. Should I coin it as being major when the trend is up, especially if the trend is up in multiple time frames? So you got to be careful of your trading plan or the words that you use, because you look to the left and it's like, hey, it's in an uptrend. Uptrend means it should make a higher high. Now, if it pulls back to minor support and you get a bottoming tail bar, you get breakdown failures, it increases the odds of that's a good entry point. And so I assume it'll make a new high. If you have a lot, multiple shares or contracts, if it's a futures contract, maybe at that high, you sell part of your position with the assumption it's going to go higher. And step-by-step analysis, MTS. Well, if I think it's going to go higher, is it new all-time highs? Does it have room to go much higher? Is the next resistance level, right next door, so to speak? So again, you gotta, why, I call all of the modules, so to speak, within the course thought building lessons, because what I'm explaining to you is a thought process. All right, let's continue so I can hand it over to Dan. Oil, nasty break. So far, it's holding here. We talked about, this being the weakest link. Could it go up? And it still might. So now if you started applying bar by bar analysis, what if this is a bottoming tail bar at the end of the day? Right? So maybe it takes out the high. Right now, like other things, it's just not going anywhere. All right. Interest rates, and then we'll get to SPX. Interest rates, came down sharply yesterday. So they've been, right? We talk about a trading range within a larger trading range. And so they were at resistance. They came down, which means there was buying, interest rates go down, bond prices go up. There was buying, bonds, interest rates down. What does that mean? I'm not so sure, since it's just chopping sideways here. It's a volatile move, but it was a volatile move up. And I think what it does mean is, as we look around, there's uncertainty in equities. Will the market continue higher? We'll assume so, since it's in an uptrend. Internals getting where they are, sentiment and so on. It's correcting. Tariff, economic news, and so on. So putting things in perspective, market wise, interest rates wise, nothing of great significance is happening here other than some uncertainty creating, choppy ranges. All right. Bitcoin, that had a good day yesterday. It's consolidating. It looks like it's ready to push up to new all-time highs. So sideways consolidation, nice move up, buy pullback, nice move up. Maybe we get a 1, 2, 3, whatever. Looks like it's going to go higher. Right. As far as gaps go, nothing of significance. You can see the trading range, S&P at the spiders. Same thing, trading range chopping around. This is incorporating what happens pre-market, and yeah, wait to see which way it goes. Trend is up. It's a little extended from the 20 internals I've already mentioned, extended from the 50. Sometimes things correct until the 20 catches up, which probably, I'm speculating, would probably take another week or so for that to happen. In any event, short-term support here. HYG, so that's corporate bonds. Yeah, so we review that in the weekend letter. So, here in this layout, some internals and interest rates and such. And you can see here, the junk bonds, HYG, are just chopping sideways, and, they had gapped down. So, it looked great. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about, hey, this thing's finally really confirming the broader markets, what they're doing. So, in a sense, this type of acceleration in combination with the internals is like an added, be careful. Market is susceptible to some kind of corrective price action. Now, maybe that's no big deal as far as the market goes, but when markets correct, we have this coin or term, and accidents happen, meaning, hey, the earnings were great, but why did the stock tank? Why did the breakout fail? Why, certain stocks will go down, market will correct 5%, and stocks can go down 20%. So, when we say, it's a point of time of considering risk off, it market wise, but absolutely as it relates to equity. So you can trade a little smaller, even if, it looks good. All right. So, this isn't doing much of anything here. You can see the cursor on the daily time frame and where it is on the hourly. So basically, markets are playing ping pong between support and resistance here, or traders are, I should say. So SPX, let me spin this out. And so there's today's numbers. If the market should head lower and we can get below 6,200, I believe 99.9% it would be a no-brainer, since where it's at, unless some news comes out, of course, always that disclaimer. This is above the prior high, so that's good. So it's a good starting point. These little notes here were from our MT Live from yesterday. So it was very informative. I hope you liked it. Those of you that were up, but we talked about this acceleration up, this acceleration down, this minor support, building support. in the room yesterday and we talked about this hook pattern and took advantage of this move up. And so there's a little void. And so prices are where they were on the spiders, same story, trading range. Um, and so we'll see where this goes today. Um, I suspect we'll stay within the range. Again, at 1 o'clock, there's a bond auction. That could definitely be a market mover. Not always is, but keep it in mind. To you, Dan.
Good morning. Alarms. We have a lot of nice bullish positions in the on all letters actually, but proportionally a lot in the ETF letter. Raul asked me about this. It's a breakout. Let's see if it can hold maybe a 30-minute high. Stop yesterday's low. It's bottoming. Let's look at alarms here. XLB. Little bull rectangle breakout, bullish 1, 2, 3 weekly. ITW is the same. I posted both of these to the advisor. Well, XLB to the ETF letter. This one, it's a bull rectangle, igniting breakout, and it's rested for a bunch of days. Weekly 1, 2, 3 with a void. So looks great. MDB, we did a put spread yesterday, and I posted it. That's okay for a long. So Raul, I would much rather have this as a breakout than that piece of garbage, ARVN. I mean, they're totally different. I mean, this is, look at the rising 20 and 50. Look at all the support, little breakdown failure, green bar, 2 inside days, bullish weekly. So the other one is just, it's garbage. I'm not saying we don't trade garbage, because we do. But it has to be a more compelling pattern. I mean, that one just looks kind of like a dead cat bounce. But I trade garbage too. In fact, I'll show you 2 of them here that I got on my. In fact, I'm bidding for both of them, free market. And I forget the symbols, and I didn't hear a bell go off, so I know I'm not. I know I'm not filled yet. All right, so I'm bidding for this piece of garbage. Watts. So see, this one also to me looks better than that, whatever you just showed me, because I'm just playing with it. I'm not giving it to subscribers. And look at Milgo, exploded here. Look at this thing, $30,000, and now it's under $1. So I'm bidding. I was bidding 75 cents pre-market, not filled. I remember Fife, something like Fife. I forget. All right, those are all my alarms. Let's go to earnings here. Yeah, those are penny stocks. Absolutely. I trade anything. Or Lee asking about Pepsi buy setup out of bottoming. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Bottoming pattern, downside shakeout, decisive breakout, and buy setup. Sure. I always use my 15-minute chart to set alarms. So I'll set it right there at 135. Because then I want to get ready. But yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yesterday, a trading forum, I talked about bottoming patterns, and that's a quality one right now. And I spent a lot of time talking about the tells, bottoming versus consolidation and downtrend, and when the tell is. And this one, what's today? Thursday. Tuesday's high over the green bar would be the entry on that. All right, back to earnings. Piece of garbage. That's a nasty channel downtrend. Look at this channel. So lower lows, lower highs. That's zero interest there. Delta, that's a gap breakout, but the gap's too big. So what do you recommend we do, Robert? We don't have a lot of time, so I'll give you the answer. Check the cousins. I'm not, I'll let you all do it, but I'll check the cousins. UAL, look, 86.75. Love, AA, one of you mentioned love yesterday. AA, so that's, I'm gonna let you do it. I don't have time. JetBlue's been lagging for a long time. ALK 52.40. I don't like this as a directional with all the junk, but gapping over all those bars, definite put spread idea. This one's also a bottoming pattern, but look, there's no volume. I think, the entry would, I think, would have to be over this red bar, and then I don't like the reward to risk. Healy, I was asking Alex what's wrong with this. That is a nasty gap. At first, because I think it's a commodity stock. I was thinking maybe Brazil related, but now that I see that it's earnings, Trump, I don't know, I'm not agreeing with a lot of stuff he's doing. He doesn't like Brazil's president going after Bolsonaro. So he wants to raise tariffs. I'm not going to get into politics, but I don't know. He's going too far. That's a nasty downtrend. Now, seeing yesterday's course, I would say, is this a bottoming pattern or consolidation in a downtrend? And the 20 and the 50 help a lot in determining that, plus price action, of course. Look at this. There's zero tells. But this thing's down so much already. I surely don't want to short it, but something's not right in CAG land. Some costs. I have other stuff in here that's not earnings. It's just in the news. This one, they had their monthly same store sales. I have an alarm at 990. If it can get over Tuesday's high, put spread. Dollar Tree, I think it was doing a buyback. That is an amazing, powerful uptrend. I remember this stock. Does it, quick trivia. Well, it's not trivia, it's recollection of news. What caused this gap down over here? Answer, I remember it was a Goldman downgrade. And then I was shocked the very next day. That is power. MEI, another power uptrend, but now it's getting whacked to the downside. I forget what the news was, but there's no pattern here. You have no interest. MP, I think Patrick typed it out. They got a big contract with the government. Man, that's a big gap. You know what? This this could be a 30-minute low call spread just in the category of excessive gap. Patterns like this, though, that blast up and they make multi-bar turns, daily, weekly. I love those when they make the turn. But the turn in this case would have been Tuesday's high for a 4-bar turn. But so I wrote this one down, same sector, TMC. So this one is substantially better for a new trade. Let's see if this can take out the 30-minute high. Say it's close to support. It's a retest of this buy setup, gapping up to $7. Let's see if we can take out 30-minute high. Amazon. I think I forget what the news was, but it's up and down, nothing. Oracle got an upgrade. These guys just crack me up. It's doubled in stock price in a few months, and now they want to upgrade them. So it's not, the daily is not a true gap and crap pattern because it's gapping from consolidation, but done nevertheless. 30-minute low. Let's check out a call spread. Today's Thursday, so it'd be 1 DTE, which I like. Now, Workday had some negative news. That's a call spread idea. Oh, that's just a downgrade as well. So call spread, EWZ, we talked about. ERJ and Embraer getting whacked on the Brazil thing, 52. It's gapping the support. Let's watch this for possible put spread, 30-minute high, and you also kind of Brazil related, but no pattern. All right, these are all just whatever stocks. Oh, some of these are Sam's. Whiskey Kilo. So Raul, this one's even better than that bottoming stock you asked me to look at. See, this one's more mature. I'm not saying Sam is more mature, just the stock that he found. Closing breakout above the 2050 inside bar with a void. So let's watch that for directional and put spread. This one put spread, Sam. It's trading range, although it is. Oh, it's gapping way above it. So now it's too extended, but put spread. This one needs to retrace another bar or two. If it can give us a buy setup like right here, minor support area, then I'd like it. So you watch it for us, Sam. So just a grinder, put spread idea, Mitch. These were all Sam's ideas. This is not bad. Little bull rectangle, bullish weekly. Let's watch that. Sam, I think you had this as a long watch, but I think this is a short watch. So I have an alarm at 295. That's a bear 123 with a void. XLB we talked about. ON we're in from yesterday. Put spread, but directional watch. UNH. I saw some news again about the Fed going after him. That's why this thing's just stuck in a coma, but they sucked the juice out of it. So yeah, I can't do. It's actually a pattern to go condor, but there's no premium. Yeah, and the Q's just made a new high. That's IWM at the low. Pod. Okay, all right, good. Merck bottoming pattern. We're already in half, and they had news that they were buying a company, so I'm surprised it's actually not down more. Text alarm. 30-minute high. SMCI, we're in from yesterday. Directional and put spread looks great. Looks great. Greg can tell you about adding deltas to it. SLX we're in. I didn't know if that was going to get affected by Brazil. Here, workhorse. So remember I just said that I'll trade penny stocks, but I missed the entry on this. Look at this breakout on workhorse. Alex, quick question. Is workhorse in Sam's ETF? But I'm just showing you this as right. The answer is absolutely not. Our Art B, we did a half lot Bitcoin ETF. You can do the back half. Yesterday's high. Neely, we talked about getting whacked. BHP. Gap at the top of the range, but look at weekly, monthly. If it can go sideways a little bit more here, it has room to 55. But Yeah, I don't like watching things. It's fun. Keeping them rare. Well, that is one nasty gap. Pharmaceutical. AMD got an upgrade. See, look how slow my computer is. Okay, so this is definitely not a call spread. This was on our bullish watch list yesterday. That looks like it's going to the prior highs. On ABO, we're already in it, but you can add over this to buy setup and just building a ton of support here. I got an alarm at 12:10 to add. All right, now I got a bunch of alarms going off here. Oscar November. We have a put spread, so this let's start setting new alarms. SMCI doing good, XLY up alarm. All right, Oscar November. Now Q's just got rejected at the prior highs. You can see it clearly on a 15-minute chart. Oscar November. AIZ low alarm. That's our, I think, our only open short. Nice. Now we can move stop break even. I'm behind here, so I'm just gonna be quick. I got 8 alarms here I gotta go through. Sal, was this from your list or Alex? I forget. That's our only short, doing well. Nice relative weakness yesterday. Yeah, ANET. My alarm didn't go off, but let me see what it's doing. We have long calls. Yeah, I don't like the action there. Now let's move stop. 15-minute low could protect our gains. 15 is kind of arbitrary, but to protect gains. Just give it a little breathing room. RSMCI is fine. TDW gap down, but it's totally fine. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 now. XLY up alarm. Hey, that's relative strength there. Looks good. I might have to add to mine 30-minute high. We're in that on the ETF floater also. RCL. We had a call spread, so but we moved the stop to break even. All right, so let's close it. You can close RCL, break even now. It expires tomorrow and it's still out of the money, but I'm not gonna even do a 30-minute high, which could turn into a loss or it could turn into a big win, but just went against us. We can get out break even, so kill it. Target. Target up alarm. That's, I think, the back half. Etsy. Yeah, I like Etsy. I'd like it a whole lot better if it didn't have this resistance here, but beautiful put spread under this weekly base. And day trade too, you know. That resistance over there is resistance, but it's that looks nice. Put spread for tomorrow 0/12. I'll put it on the list. If this consolidation were up here at this resistance, then it would be an awesome inverse head and shoulder. MDB, yeah, let me set an alarm. I'm capped over, so 218.42 MDB. Mm-mm. W. Yeah, look, that's some CI bottom right. All right, ITW hit cleanly. 262.60. Yeah, bottoming pattern. I don't know. I would want a better continuation bar to the downside. But as of right now, put spread. For directional, I just don't know how far it's going to go. But put spread, I like. I do the nines. Tomorrow, 4 cents. Actually, it's not bad. But you got to pay commissions. I would do a 20 lot at 5 cents, and that would be $100, but I don't want to pay commissions. So I'm going to try the 8.5 puts for next week. At 10 cents. Orders flip. Starbucks alarm. Oh, that came in hard. We did a put spread on that yesterday. It hasn't hit the stop, but that's not acting right after that gap breakout. That's for darn sure. Is that it? All right, T-Doc. Let's well, I already tightened the stop to yesterday's low. And I just took some money on mine. Go on to alarms thing. I shorted puts on that, so that's going against me. And yeah, I see all the oils coming in. That's why. I don't have the ACHR alarm. I don't get out of my thing for a 10-cent loss. Archer. I had an alarm up here. I don't know, nothing to do with it yet. Yeah, ITW triggered, so those are all my alarms now. No, that's not true. I got a couple others. What day? Right, ITW. No alarm. 262. 58. Post them. Frame short now? Wow, it was on my long watch yesterday. So I know what it looks like. Yeah, well, that's not a good void, but definite call spread. Check cream. For tomorrow, the 275. And there's no juice. 20 cents to make it. If it closed like that, I might consider doing next week. Tesla's bouncing here into the void, but no patterns unless you find a day trading entry. All right, TDW is still okay retracement wise, but look, the 15 is now a head and shoulder top. We're in it at 51.64, so it's against us. And I am short puts, which I see I still have an open profit. And that's the benefit. That's the benefit of their different strategies. That I have a higher probability of profit because it can go against me. And I still make money, but your gain's limited to premium receipt. All right, MDB low alarm. Let me type my stuff on the put spread. The 200, 95, 68. And so we're right at break even on MDB on the put spread. Um, so what do you all think? Kill the put spread, break even? If it closed like this, that's a breakout failure. What do you think, Sal? Remember that's
What strike did you sell?
200 for next week. We're break even right now. Low alarm went off.
Oh, it would be pretty nasty. I don't think, pattern doesn't support the potential to go down there, and that's why you did the put spread. And today isn't even done, and it's on, intraday, it's on some support right here. So, you
Oh,
know,
that's
if you
fine.
want to do break even, that's a personal choice. There's nothing wrong with the chart right now.
We'll keep it. Airbnb, early alarm. We have a put spread on this, but open profit. $35.18. That was a stop for the directional put spread. I gave more room. Yeah, we're locking in a gain on the directional. 136.48. Sky, low alarm. Are we in this one, ETF? Yeah. No, we're not so good. I think I was just watching setup. Maybe, that's not a great short. Well, day trade is fine. It's not a great M top because this momentum move isn't big, but it's a definite call spread. Or day trade short, like I said, it's fine. Yeah, so breakdown under that pivot, extended daily, weekly. So call spread for tomorrow would be the 292.50. 13 cents. This low VIX is being a problem. Now let's see, for next week, 295. $5 wide is 50 cents. I don't trust this for 8 days right now to around 50 cents. Hey, our AVO up alarm, but I had an early alarm. Let me reset it. We're already in it, but like I said, for an ad over all that resistance. Got smacked right down, so no hurry. Triple M. It's up 3 bars, but it's strong, broke out. Day trade would be okay. I don't like swinging patterns like that, but day trade's fine. Diamonds are the only ones above the 15-minute high. Oh, thanks, Don. I guess I didn't set an alarm. So let me check. We had the 101s. 460. Booked the game, but not as much as yesterday. That's always the deal. Curve low alarm. Remember, I've been watching that for a long put. Hughes turned ugly here. Uglier. Amazon knows diving. Google following a little bit. There was an article in the journal today saying Google was a good value, but the chart was a mess. So it's not bad. You know, where would your stop be as a swing? But that's definitely nice 1, 2, 3 there. Greg, your JB Hunt alarm again. Another bull rectangle. Transports is very strong, gap up and at the high. Like T transports, that looks great. 54. Greg, JB Hunt, half flight yesterday's time.
Give it a few more cents above the high.
All right, let's wait.
I mean, I don't know if you're thinking like just like a penny above the high, you know.
Yeah, I always do it funny. Let's watch 30. We'll come back to them in 5 minutes. All right, that's Mike Papa. Wow, let's look at the volume already in 26 minutes. Look at this igniting volume here too. Wow. And that's after a gap down. This one, Greg, I think I know there's support here, but I sure think curve is topping out.
Well, Undoubtedly. I mean, it's going sideways. That doesn't mean I want to short it.
Well, I'm wanting to buy a put at the right time.
Well, why don't you just do it now?
That's why I'm talking about it. I didn't know if all this support would wig you out like it does Alex, but I think it's gonna go through it because of the weekly.
I don't, nobody knows if it's gonna do that. I mean, hold there. I mean, if it, that's why patterns like that usually think about credit spreads because if it holds, as long as it doesn't go up, but it's been going sideways for whatever, a month or whatever. If you're gonna buy a put, some pattern like that, you need some time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely looked at a call spread, but they sucked all the juice out, and that's what got me thinking about a directional then.
Well, so as far as directional goes, it certainly isn't a no-brainer. So no point in having to force it. Just move on to something else.
All right, I'm gonna look at calls again. The 170s for next week, $1. But you can't get a good midpoint because they're all expensive. SMCI is coming in hard. I don't like. Target, up alarm. Meta did a put spread yesterday. We're down 4 pennies. Ups the alarm. Making a nice turn. Raul or whoever gave me this. Put it in the other computer. SLX. Steel, up alarm. And the ETF letter. Tighten stop. I think I did yesterday. 68.85. No, didn't. Well, I did, but not that. Not that number. Posted glow alarm. We did a half lot on that yesterday. Who's nose diving here? So that's the second one. It's 70. Okay, I'm 72. Oh, we can now move stop here. 99.54. Well, it's already 99.39. I'll leave it close enough. All right. Postage, we did a half lot yesterday. That's an early alarm, but don't like the pullback. Starbucks up alarm, so a little 15-minute downside shakeout. So we're back in a small profitable territory. Postage. GDW came roaring back. Nice. I had some bids to get out of my puts and I got filled. Shoot, MDB low alarm again. Look at that. Let's cancel the directional. Put spreads underwater. ITW we bought up alarm. Nice relative strength. ABL up alarm again. Well, it looks great, actually. With market coming in, I'm gonna wait and see how it closes. I'll put it in a window. Actually, I'm gonna bid for some. 1206. Oh, spread. Wow, a 9-cent spread. Spready little guy. $10 puts are 0 by 55. I'm gonna try 35 cents. Wow, that curve fell $5 already. Yeah, 152. My alarm went off. $6 it fell. Merck is holding well. INOD was up, now down $1. We got a put spread. Or naked puts rather. Got the 46s. And we're about break even because of the spread. Anyway, that's not bad at all. See how it closes. Rallied here to